Hello, welcome to STEM School. In this video, we are going to go through the very basic steps to build our own chatbot by using Google Gemini API. Okay, so this is what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first step is we're going to create API key. Okay, and the second step is install the environment. And the third one is let's build the chatbot. And fourth one is let's build a web page to use chatbot. Okay, so for the first step, let's create the API key first. So about the API key, we're going to use Google AI Studio. All right, so that's what you are going to see when you first log into Google AI Studio. Please log in with your Google account. Okay, so that's the first page you're gonna see. About this user interface, we can talk about this in another video about what's temperature, what's token account, and so on and so on. So, but for this video, let's just quickly go through the steps that we are going to do to build a very basic chatbot by using this Google API, and that's the very basic steps. Okay, so the thing we're going to use here is click API key. Okay, we're going to click API key and you got the API key. So the API we're going to use today is the Google Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay, so first time you click into here, you won't see the things at the bottom. Okay, so it's empty. You are going to create API key, and then it will create the API key below. All right, so when you will have this API key, and you can copy it and use it in your projects. All right, so that's how you're going to create the API key. And the next step is we're going to install the environment. All right, for this installing environment, we're going to put out today's code in by using VS Studio. So how to use VS Studio, please check my other videos. All right, and also I'm going to use Python as my backend code. So how to install Python, please also see my previous videos. All right, so there is the step-by-step guide of how to set up Python environment properly. And for this video, you would also need to install an extension called Live Server. Okay, so please search Live Server in the extension in the VS Studio, and then you will find the first one, and which is weekday. So just install this one. All right, so once you're all set, all right, so let's get started. So the very first step I put on my note is let's install the virtual environment. Okay, so let's open the terminal, new terminal. Okay, so I'm gonna paste instead of typing. So I'm going to, the step is I'm going to create a virtual environment called chatbot. All right, so why I'm creating virtual environment? Because I don't want this to impact to my other Python projects. All right, so now you can see the virtual environment is created. It's named chatbot. All right, so the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the virtual environment. Okay, so that's how I activate the virtual environment. It's activated. And then I'm going to install what? I'm going to install the Google Generative AI. Okay, so just install that. It's quick. So, okay, it's installed. Please ignore the update. If you have the upgrade notice for the PIP, you can just ignore that. We don't have to upgrade this now. And I'm going to install also Flask. It's a Python framework, quite good one for backend. So it's easy to learn, but I'm not going to talk about Flask in this video. It will require multiple videos to really learn the Flask, but I'm just going to quickly go through this a bit. And also I'm going to install the Python Flask course, so to avoid the course issues. So we can talk about course issues in another video. It's just we need to do that. Okay, so otherwise, when we are running the HTML file, we are going to facing some problems. Otherwise, I have to, if I don't install this course package, I'm gonna have to build a proxy server, which I don't want to go there. So because the target of this video is to really, we are going to do the really basic things necessary to build up a personalized chatbot by using the Google API. So that's our target. Okay, so now the environment is set, and then I'm going to create the Python files that is necessary. Okay, so the first one is API config, so that's a configuration file, so I'm going to create that. All right, so just copy paste my code which already prepared there. So it's basically I'm putting my API keys here. All right, so save it. And then the next one is chatbot functions. So I'm going to that's the function, basic function of this chatbot. I didn't define anything complicated, so it's just input from user and get response from the model. Okay, from this Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay, so get input and return response text. All right. So, oh, what's wrong? For API config, did I not see it? Oh, yes, I know why. Okay, so you see, so failed to import this because I created in the wrong folder. Okay, yes, that's why. Let me just move this in the chatbot. So move it, so it should be good. All right, so that's even with copy paste, I'm making errors. So that's why I'm rather prepare this in advance to have less troubleshooting. So the next one is I'm going to create a file called chatbot app, so that I can moving this under that. So again, I'm planning to use the chatbot app so that I can directly use this API without creating a web page. So that's the very first step to see if everything works. If it works well, then I'm going to create a web page, right? So because I've already you can see I'm just pasting the code, so I already know it works. But if I'm creating from scratch, that's the step that I'm going to do. Okay, so that's basically I'm creating a chatbot app that I can use in these terminals, right? So I got user input, I can quit, right? So I can got the user input and got the response, right? So let's run this. Okay, so we got let me see, let's just go Python 3. Let's see, it's in the chatbot and chatbot app py. So it's ready because I'm still under the sample project folder here, right? So in the command line, so in the terminal, so I have to put the chatbot because it's under the chatbot folder, right? So enter, it should run. Okay, good. So we've got input u, right? So that's the user input. Let's say first say hello. Okay, and then what I got hello there, how can I help you? So that's the response from Gemini. So let me type, I want to learn biology, please guide me. Okay. Oh, now the Gemini is working on my question and provide some feedbacks. Okay. So, it's really long. So Gemini really provided the long feedback. So it's printed. So you see, so I'm actually using my terminal to interact with the with Google Gemini through by using the API, right? So now I'm just going to quit. So I fulfill my first step to test the API. So I'm going to use user input quit so that it will break, right? So it will end the dialogue. Okay, so the API is a success. So as I mentioned here, so we built the chatbot already, but by using the terminal, which is not pretty. So I'm going to build a web page to use this chatbot. That's my next step, right? So so far it's really easy, right? So next step, I'm going to create a app Python file, which I'm actually using Flask. All right, so that's why I import this. So you can learn Flask from I don't know, from internet. There is a lot of files or tutorials about this framework. So it's relatively easy for the beginners, and I think it's super easy to learn, right? So again, we're going to talk about course in other videos. It's very complicated to explain. And let's just import Flask, import course, import this chatbot function from the functions there, and we got the root, okay, the index, and we're going to rendering this from the index.html. That's the file that I'm going to create. Okay, and there's the chat, and we're going to use the post method. So Flask here, I'm using the REST API, okay, to interact with the backend and the front end. Okay, so define the chat, right? So user input, get user input as the JSON data from request, and then get user input and response and generate the response. Okay, so. And then, as I mentioned here, that the page were from the index.html. I'm going to create the index.html. Okay, so again, let me just copy that. So I don't want to troubleshooting with the typo there. So index.html, and that's very basic HTML file I just created by using some scripts. So for those of you who don't know about HTML, I highly recommend that you go through some online tutorials. It's not difficult. I can make a series of videos to talk about basics about this HTML, but it's relatively easy. So we got the page, really basic page, chatbot, right? So there's the button with send message. Okay, there's the text input about sending the message, and the script. So script again. So there's the user input to sending the message with HTTPS request, right? So I'm going to post to the backend, right? So and then if it's a success, I'm going to get some response, right? So JSON response, and I'm going to run this response and type it not type it and transfer and display in the web page. Okay, that's this whole thing about. And if there's error, there will be some error status, right? So and nothing else. I didn't do any. I didn't do anything about this page. It's really about the basics. Okay, so if you know more about HTML or CSS, definitely we can make this page a lot more prettier, okay, than it should be. So when you see the page, you will see it's not very pretty, but it's functional. All right, so First, I'm going to, because I'm using the app as my backend, so I'm going to first start the Flask. Okay, so that's when you are trying by yourself, don't forget, so you need to start run Flask. Oh, okay, yeah, because, okay, makes sense. Chatbot, sorry. So again, need to go to the proper path so that I can run this. So all right, so Flask is running. So now I'm going to run this HTML, right? So I'm going to right click here, right click HTML and open with live server. That's the extension we installed specifically for this video. Okay, so click here and we got here. So we got chat with the bot here, and I'm going to type the message. Okay, I'm going to click send. Okay, so that's quick. So now the bot, okay, I put it bot, but actually it replied from the Google Gemini API. So that's what I've got the response. Clear the text, and I want to learn biology. Please help to guide me. Okay, instead I'm going to send and wait for the response. It's a bit slow. Okay, so it responded with a huge chunk of text, which I didn't do anything to refine the format of this response. So again, what I can do next is probably make this much prettier, but for this video, we got our purpose, right? So I can again test how about chemistry. Oh, a very broad question. So it always asks more specific question, a specific area of chemistry. Okay, so that's the response I got. So it guided me to go through the specific questions. So that's what we have here for this video. Is we've already built it a basic chatbot, which is a personalized chatbot that we are using the Google Gemini API to do that. So I hope that you can follow my steps to build this. Of course, I'm going to post the code later in the GitHub and make it public for you to download, and I'm going to paste the URL under the video later. So for those of you who are not very familiar about GitHub, I'm going to post another video of how to set up a GitHub, so that will definitely help you to manage your code. That's everything for today's lesson. Please click like if you like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.